Hey guys.
Bro, why you making it so difficult, bro?
Okay. This
All right.
is okay, good. Here.
Oh
Say it.
my
You say it. You
God.
say it.
Bro, why'd you acting like this? Why'd you acting like this, bro? We've been getting confirmations that us moving abroad was not just our plan, but it was in God's plan also.
Here's how we knew God confirmed every step of the way. So let's start with the beginning. Documents, passports, visas, everything in that nature. We had to start with his passport at first.
As far as getting our passports, that was something that was like super easy. She already had her passport, of course, because she had already been traveling. We initially got my passport because we had to go to Mexico. It was a super simple process. I think it took, like, you were saying something like, oh, well, it could take up to 6 months or something like that, but it came back in like a couple weeks. Probably
Well,
like 2 weeks.
back in the day, it used to take a little bit longer to get your passport confirmed and things like that. Now it's a little much simpler, even the application process. So it actually came really fast.
Yeah, it was super short. So I feel like that was one of the first confirmations as far as us leaving, God giving us the okay to say, I approve.
The first moment I felt like God was actually telling us to leave was when I went to Bali. Bali was a complete eye opener for me. I just didn't understand how simple it was to live in Bali and to be at peace, and how it just felt like easy. It was cheap, one. It was peaceful. Like, even like the simple things that you want in life, as far as like hiring someone to do things for you, was like super cheap. I'm just like, why do I have to wait to be a quote unquote millionaire? I can just leave and go somewhere else and be that millionaire there. But it wasn't about having a lot of money. It was more so about being able to like live in the way that I actually wanted to live. You know what I'm saying? Like, living in LA, it's gonna take years and years and years. And maybe not even, you might not even get there, honestly, because it just takes so much to be at the top of the totem pole to be able to afford the luxuries that we have in LA. You know what I'm saying? Whereas in Bali, it was just complete easy. Like, it might not be easy for people that live in Bali. I understand that part, but for people that's migrating and stuff like that to these other countries, it's much easier because our dollar is stronger. An eye opener for me, like, oh, I don't have to wait to get these type of like, what is
Quality
it,
of life.
quality of living.
Also, I think God kind of talks to me in two different ways. One of those ways being patterns, like I see certain patterns in my life. And I feel like a lot of times I just keep going through the same thing over and over and over and over until it just clicks. I guess I think about it as we have like earthly parents, and I think of God as a heavenly father, if you will. And it's literally like, okay, son, you gonna keep doing what you're doing, and I'm gonna keep putting you in the same situations and predicaments until you realize that you have to make a change. So in addition to that, the second way is anything that's causing like an extreme amount of resistance, whether it's a relationship or whether it's an endeavor that we're trying to do, and it's just nothing is going right, then we kind of got to take a step back and reevaluate and ask ourselves, okay, is this something that God has for us in his plans? And when it comes to us planning our application process for our visa, we went through an agency. It was like really one of the best experiences we could have had. Like, we could have did it by ourselves and we could have saved money or whatever, but just the ease of mind and knowing that it was taken care of and it was handled. And we kind of felt like we was gonna get approved, but it was still like, what if we don't? But like, it was no hiccups. Like, it was a seamless process. How long you think it took for us to get our visas approved overall for me and you?
So first of all, shout out to John at CM Legal.
Shout out, John.
John cool as hell, y'all. Y'all should go check out John. So for my application process, it took about 2 to 4 weeks. His application, the same. It was simpler because we don't have any like background, anything on our background or anything like that. So they check all that. So they wanted to know if you been in some trouble or whatnot. It was actually simple. The visa that we have is the DT visa, which is a digital nomad visa, and it's
I
up
think
to.
it's DTV.
That's what I said.
My bad. You said DT visa.
That's why I said DTV visa.
That ain't what you said.
Run it back, y'all.
We can run the clip back.
Cause I said what I said, but he always doing this, y'all.
Because
he think I'm slow, basically.
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to help you out.
Anyways, DTV visa.
Mm-hmm. Come on, man.
It's up to for 5 years. What that entails is you can live there for 5 years. You still have to go in and out the country every 180 days, I believe. You have to go in and out of the country because, you know, they just want to keep making sure that you still have the qualifications of the DTV visa. Like, they still want to check the amount of money you got in your bank account. If you're still up to par with the visa, basically.
We had to have like a total of,
I think it was over 30,000.
Yeah, in one bank account. So
Yeah,
for those
like
of you,
the sum of both of our accounts.
right? So for those of you who are married, one of you all can apply for the visa, and then after that, you can sign up the other spouse as a dependent. Do it that way. Things always change. So at the time of this video, by the time you watch it, it might be different. So always go research and look at the up-to-date details of the laws, because Thailand be changing. They be doing a lot of changing.
Back and forth. Okay, so I feel like the hardest part of this whole transition was getting rid of our belongings, because for me, I'm tied to a lot of like materialistic things in a way. Shoes, clothes, couches, all this stuff I have to have in terms of like feeling like I have everything I need. Okay, because I'm not gonna lie. Now that looking back at who I was or what I had accumulated over time, I low-key was a hoarder.
I'm glad you said it. I was finna say,
all right, not too much. Not too much. With shoes and clothes.
Everything.
Okay, so you gonna say that everything we had we didn't need?
Everything that we had, you had in a surplus.
Okay, so
like
what my mom? Okay, listen, my mom taught me how to have inventory. You need to have a lot of toilet paper just in case things go haywire. You know how it was, coronavirus and stuff like that. Or what was the last thing that happened when everybody had to go to the stores and get all the toilet paper and stuff like that? I ain't never had to do that because I was already ready. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. You understand what I'm saying? Clock that T. But that's what I was taught up. Like, my upbringing was that, like, have enough so that in case of emergencies, you'll be okay. Now, clothes and shoes, we all as a family have accumulated a lot of clothes and shoes, and that's just something that we do. Like, we like fashion, I guess. And clothes and shoes was just the way that we were brought up. Even my mom had a lot of shoes, my brother, my dad, everybody. That's just something that happened in the family. It's so crazy because now I only have 2 pairs of shoes. What's so crazy about that? I only wear 2 pairs of shoes out of all the shoes I've had.
I didn't have as many like clothes and shoes as her, but I did have my own form of hoarding, like around technology. Like, I love tech, computers, monitors.
You have just random shit. Like,
I think I get that from my dad and my uncle, them also being like into music and techs and keeping all these cords, and oh, I might need this HDMI cord, might need that Ethernet cord later. My whole PC setup, it was cool. I missed it. You know, it was near and dear to my heart. But like, the more we thought about leaving, the more it started to feel like all those things was like holding us down, like keeping us trapped. So it was just like, okay, do I care about having a desktop when I could just go get a laptop and then later replace those things? You know, is that something that's more important than us being free?
Because you got to think about it, like, if we have so much stuff, then we got to pay for storage. We have to pay for things to keep these things that aren't making us any more money, but just taking money from our pockets. So it's just like, we had to really gauge and understand that this is holding us back in the long run. Things that we deem that we actually need is not things that we actually need. It's just things that we actually want. So we had to really like separate that type of mindset into letting go of a lot of things. And I'm saying a lot of things, to the point where we just start giving away things for free. Family, friends just come get it because I just don't even want to deal with it anymore because it's just a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? So,
but also going back to the confirmation, I can't remember exactly the amount of months we had left before we started to get rid of things. But in the beginning, it felt like we couldn't get rid of nothing.
Oh my God.
Like, it felt like, bro, nobody was responding to the Facebook Market posts, or it'd be like scams.
I was going
people not
crazy on Facebook
serious.
Marketplace too, though.
Towards the end, it just seemed like everything just started flowing. Like people was coming out the woodwork. Like we'll repost it or resend out a listing, and people like same day. Oh, like I'm on the way right now. I'm about to come get it. Somebody came and got basically my whole
Setup.
PC setup. You know, when you're ready to have something done, it might not be the time, but you know, God's timing is different than our time a lot of the time.
And that's basically the whole gist of the video, is allowing you to know that God is fully 100% behind everything that we are able to do right now. From the start to the finish, like we always have these talks, random talks about how much God is contributing to our moves. And it really helps to know that you are in alignment, but also following something or someone.
Some higher power, higher.
Yes, like I got a question. Shout out to God. Shout out to God. We love you. We appreciate you.
As far as like families and friends, of course, like moving to the other side of the world is like a super big leap. So although at first people were kind of hesitant, the vast majority of our responses have been like support. You know, nothing but support. Like go ahead. You know, we giving our friends and family a place to come and visit. It was like, go ahead so we can come down there and see y'all. We might not want to move like y'all, but you never know. You know, we might be inspiring a lot of people to make the leap if that's something that you want to do. You know, because we know a lot of people that like they can't wrap their head around moving to Southeast Asia as being a possibility at all. Like it just seemed like it could never happen.
I feel like it's really because they're so far away from like friends and family that they grown up with, and I get that. I 100% get that, and I'm just leave it at that. So, what do you feel like was the hardest, most stressful part about this whole move?
As we were doing all our research and stuff like that, you know, the two most important things for me was savings and also being able to figure out what am I gonna do for income. And I felt like her emphasis was more on, okay, well, just work as much as you can and just save up the amount of money that you need. And although I understand and I really did agree with that, in my mind, I could not justify going all the way out to Thailand, regardless of how much money we had saved, without being able to know and believe that I had the ability to make money. Of course, I could just get there and have enough runway, but like even we in Mobile right now. Or no, we were in Mobile and we're in Birmingham right now seeing my family. And even just the amount of things that we've had to go through here as far as like unexpected expenses and money and hiccups, it all worked out. But at the same time, now I'm realizing I gotta have a source of income. I said, okay, I can save majority of my money or I can invest this money to help me be in a situation to where I can generate more of that money. And that's what I did. I ended up getting a client that paid me like $500 for like 3 months. And I was just like, okay, this works. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something that could go a long way. And that's just from one client. So imagine if I had 3, 4, 5, 6 clients, that would be a decent amount of money. So while I was working at Amazon, it was very hard trying to balance both of those things. And I wasn't able to put my all into that business. But what it did show me was it's possible. It did show me that, okay, you know how to get clients, you know how to do service delivery. And I went a couple months without having any more clients because I was so burnt out. And I would put time into reaching out to clients, but it just took a while. But in my mentorship, you know, I have other people that are able to motivate me and give me pep talks and, you know, kind of pick me up when I'm feeling down. And shout out to Mina. She gave me like a super, like a super, you know, stern talking, if you will. On our flight to Mobile, I signed another client for like $400 a month. So that's even more confirmation that it's like, this is something that's meant for y'all. And this is something that y'all can do, and everything is gonna work out.
How did you feel peace instead of fear? Or how did you like maneuver through getting on the other side of fear?
I don't think I was ever afraid to move to Thailand because, coming where we from, moving to California at a point in time felt like a super big, scary move. I think I've always been a person that's been willing to like get up and leave. And I've never really had like a stable like living situation as a kid growing up. So I'm used to moving around and going to a new place. I think once I was able to realize, okay, I can make money outside of a 9 to 5, my fear left or all my anxiety. I'm like, I'm good. Like once I get the time to work on this 100%, then I'm not really tripping. What about you?
Okay, so let me talk about my relationship with fear. I tend to move towards fear a lot. Like, I don't like shying away from fear. So that actually makes me want to go towards the things that makes me fearful. It's a gift and a curse, I guess, because some things I should probably shy away from, not too much. Some things that I actually probably should shy away from, but it's the aspect of like, why am I scared of this? Like, I'm trying to unpack why or where it came from or what this feeling is about more than so like, oh, I ain't scared. Well, I don't care. Like, it's not that. It's more so like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I here? Like, what in my childhood made me feel like this or what? You know what I'm saying? So it's really unpacking it. Moving across the country wasn't a fear at all. It was more so the unknown. Like the unknown really, really, really like we go hand in hand. Like I don't understand myself in that way, but like I feel that really gets me excited. It really gets me happy with like figuring out what's on the other side of the unknown. I don't like to just take information from somebody and be like, well, here it is. Well, no, actually, I want to go see about it myself and go figure it out. Like, oh, maybe my experience is different from your experience and it doesn't have to be that way at all times. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it was more so fear. I think it was more so the unknown. What brought me peace was knowing that coming into LA, I built a business up. And I know that my willingness and my motivation to figure things out and do things will be just that in Thailand too. Like if I need to figure something out, make some money, whatever, I know that I have the capabilities of figuring something out. And God gave me these capabilities and like shown me this from the time that even before I moved to California, because I was doing investing and trading before that and like leading a team to a whole different story, y'all. But before I moved to California, I quit my job and was just like, I'm just gonna try and figure it out. So I've always had this like motivation to do things that I'm afraid of, but also love the unknown feeling of what it may come to be when I do get on the other side of it. Like I like to explore. I literally enjoy exploring. And I think that's kind of how we got into this whole situation in the first place. The fact that I'm just an explorer.
I think that's important because if you really think about it, I believe us moving to California and surviving and thriving in California is one big confirmation itself that you can make this move in Thailand. It's different. It's a step further than California. But I believe if you can come to California and survive, and Los Angeles, Hollywood,
that's a big jump from Ohio to California, from Birmingham to California.
If you could do that, then I feel like you can pretty much do anything. Honestly.
Thanks, handsome. We'll answer more questions once we get in the car, but we have to go see Erick's father, so we'll keep this rolling in the car.
Had to get that off spray. Y'all know about Alabama, the mosquitoes been going crazy.
So guys, we're on the elevator up later. So we're on our way to go see Erick's dad, but we'll give you an update on the video that we're about to finish. We're gonna finish the video in the car. Y'all know what I mean. So here we have a cleaning lady, and here we have the pool and a jacuzzi. All right, we can go to the car. Hi. Get y'all chocolate man. Country man too.
I think as far as planning goes, this is what I would suggest. If you don't already have your passport, first step I would say is just get your passport. Once you get your passport and you get the amount of money that you need saved for y'all tickets, I'm not gonna suggest this, I'm just gonna tell you what we did. Before we had anything else figured out, we picked a date. So let's just say 8 months to 10 months. We probably did like 9 months out. And we just booked the ticket, literally. We booked the ticket and we said we gonna figure out everything we need to figure out within this time frame. And once you set that hard goal for yourself, because if you don't have that, you just gonna keep putting it to the side. Literally. You're gonna keep putting it off. You're gonna keep saying, oh, well, I'll do it in this amount of time. I'll do it in that amount of time. Book the tickets, and I promise you, if you really want it bad enough, you're gonna figure out everything that you need to figure out within that time frame.
It really just allows you to hold yourself accountable because you didn't already spend all this money. So it's like, and sometimes you can't even get your money back when you do book a ticket as far like a certain amount of time. So once you set that expectation and you know for sure that you're going to do everything possible, then everything just starts to flow and like, fall in place. But also like have that talk with God, honestly, like, because before we did anything, we were like, let's pray about it and let's make sure that we are on the same alignment. And I think what kind of gave us the A-OK was us being able to book the flight, because at the time we were in like economic hardship. So us coming up with the funds and stuff like that and being able to book the flight was our first confirmation.
Another thing that I think was important is sometimes you all don't realize that you as a person, you're visual. So you need to physically be able to see all the things and all the steps that you're checking off on a day-to-day. So we got this super big whiteboard. We got a big whiteboard. We put everything on there. So visas, figuring out phone plans, figuring out what area we want to stay in, what we're going to do about insurance, international health care. And as we checked and marked all those things off, like you can literally see yourself getting closer and closer to the goal that you want to be.
Literally. So yes, it was more so a checklist. I'm very visual. Even like my day-to-day things, I have to put everything on a calendar to check everything off. So I think that's also what helps me stay accountable too. The fact that I have something to check off, like a goal list, things of that nature. But anything you want to do in life, and I'm just gonna say this, I'm just gonna say it. Anything you want to do in life, whether you want to be an astronaut, you want to be a super swimmer, I don't know what it is, you can do it. You literally just have to set expectations, plans, and goals, and you literally mark it off. That's a big B. And you literally mark it off. I have ADHD, so I'll be in and out. But yeah, you just literally have to mark it off. Like, nothing is unachievable. Nothing is so far-fetched to where you have to say you can't, or it's everything is doable. I'll let you know that everything is doable. What are you most excited about experiencing abroad? He's gonna say the food, because he's a big bat.
Damn, hold on.
Okay. He can't multitask right now because he's driving. I'm gonna hold the forward down. He's gonna say food because he loves food, right? Me, more so exploring and seeing different cultures and seeing different things, and like, I just want to see everything. Something that we'll have to get some used to would be like the water out there. When I tell you, me and water go hand in hand. So like, here's an example. Being in the shower, it's weird, but I do it all the time. I like to put water in my face. Like I like to like not drink it, but I like to like have the water in my mouth and then spit it out. So the fact that I can't do that is gonna get some used to. Cause I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, literally, I'll probably like, I don't know. Anyways, but the water filtration out there, we're gonna have a filter. We actually have one already, cause I'll be preparing. We have a filtered shower head already, so I'm very excited to use that. Something that we started packing was a lot of things that we actually need, like necessities, as far as like body wash, because I have like sensitive skin. I can't just use anything, so I have so much body wash. It don't make no sense. They probably at the TSA like, what the hell is going on? Or is she reselling it? I don't know. Body wash, like deodorant, like anything necessary that a woman would need or a man would need, I got that. Clothes and shoes is kind of like, we'll get it when we get there. Like I actually want to like redo my whole closet. I want to have a whole different totally style, and I just want to try new things. Like, again, explore.
I think I'm just ready to like have a slower pace in my everyday life in terms of cause you know LA is like super hustle and bustle. You always have to be somewhere. And I don't say live a slow life in the sense that I plan to get there and do nothing. It's actually quite the opposite. Like I plan to get there and work harder and more than I ever have in my life, but it'll actually be something that's going to build me. It'll actually be something that I want to do. And yeah, I feel like going through our last couple months in California, the I would say that I built up the discipline to be able to have such I mean pretty much a whole 24 hours to do what it is that I please. But you know, I've trained myself to do what it is that I know how to do, so we could actually keep living this lifestyle for a long time and not get down there, run out of money, and be broke trying to start a GoFundMe for y'all to get us back to the States.
Not to go fun. If you feel like you're scared or stuck and you don't know what to do or where to start when trying to move abroad, this is some advice I will give you. It sounds cliche, but you need a plan. You need a plan. And even your plan it'll get different here and there. Like, we literally planned our whole trip and had things that we had to pay for outside of our plan. You know what I'm saying? So prepare for, yes, adjust, but prepare for everything. A solid plan, like from the gate, what I'm gonna do, and up until the last day that I have to leave to go abroad. How much money am I gonna save up? How many like videos do I need to watch or research and stuff like that?